Elon is still locked in, replying to my stalker account. Asmongold has no love lost over Hasan losing grip of his bully influence on the online arena. Must be very awful for Hasan that he can't bully people out of having positions that he disagrees with. You had a good run. Must suck. Yeah, really sucks. Elon Musk hitting with the smiling, crying emoji. The the regression of political discourse continues. Okay, the regression of political discourse continues. That's crazy. This is the wealthiest person on the planet, and he is replying to my stalker account on the social media platform that he owns, while also celebrating that the social media platform that he owns unironically has become a horrible place for back and forth and for politics. Like richest man on earth replying to Twitch drama, 0 aura points, minus 1 million aura points. What is Asmongold even talking about? I don't know. I haven't even looked into it, but I suspect that if I were to speculate, it would most likely be that like these guys claim that liberals bullied them all the time, and now they're the bullies or something. Like it's just like vengeance politics. Like first you perceive yourself as a victim for having abhorrent opinions about things, and then once like those abhorrent political opinions become the norm in platforms like the ones that Elon Musk owns, where people basically wear their bigotry and their stupidity as a badge of courage, which is what my point was, then they say, well, back in the day you used to bully us and now the bullies are it's the revenge of the nerds or something, which is so stupid. Just
And this is Hasan crying. Is this, you know what? Who cares? Let's move on. Yeah. This is just how, what is this? This is how Twitter and increasingly more online spaces feel nowadays. People are no longer able to feel shame and wear their bigotry and stupidity like a badge of honor. Yes, I understand. It must be very awful for Hasan that he can't bully people out of having positions that he disagrees with now.
You know what's really funny about this? I never bullied Asmongold until he became this like right-wing demon. Or even when he had right-wing opinions, I was very charitable to him. And he was the one who has historically demanded that I get banned or maybe even go to jail, you know what I mean? For my opinions. So I don't know where he comes from with this like victimhood. People would yell at me all the time for not being more aggressive towards Asmongold. Like I was incredibly charitable to Asmongold, far more than he deserved, really, and far more than he's ever demonstrated towards me after becoming a prominent right-wing political commentator. But it's like so strange because in the minds of his community, they operate as though they have this mentality that like I was the reason why he got banned or something. Like they legitimately think I called for his ban, or at least I got him banned when he said the thing about Palestinians deserving genocide. His heart is not in this shit. You can hear it in his voice. He had to read through your tweet and then come up with an on-the-spot anti-Hasan take for the content. He's just going through the motions. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, Bryce.
Hey, listen, it was a good few years, right? You had a good run. But I think people are...
Like, given my position as someone who's always been outside of the permissible commentary structure of mainstream media, I've never been Mr. Let's ban people, you know? Because I understand what goes around comes around. And I understand that, like, more often than not, someone like myself is probably in the crosshairs way faster than a right-wing person that is basically in line with the administration's agenda. So that is part of the reason why I've always been very careful talking about, like, deplatforming, where I do think that, like, there is validity to deplatforming certain ideas, okay? Not allowing certain ideas to fester is I think good for discourse in general. It's better for speech. It's better for free speech. Like there are boundaries around like what you can and can't say, and there are understandable, reasonable boundaries, even in the United States of America, around what you can and can't say, even on private platforms. And I think like what has happened to Twitter is a perfect demonstration of like why those safeguards must exist for speech to thrive in general. But of course, like for guys like this, they don't mind that shit at all. They love it because it's all about like dominating your opponent, dominating your political enemies. And if you don't actually have good reason to dominate your political enemies, something that Asmongold used to say all the time was, you know, a lot of people shit on Hasan, but if he's such a bad guy, why are you making stuff about? Why are you making stuff up about him? Right? Like that's what he used to tell his audience all the time. Like if he something that he always would say is like, if Hasan is such a bad guy, just say what he's doing that's bad instead of just like making shit up about him to yell about. And now he basically does it himself, or at least leans on it himself, because he got a little taste of that like fuck Hasan juice, right? And he recognized it. He recognized the value that brings to the table, and he kind of dropped it, which is, you know, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? I genuinely cannot comprehend how or why other streamers continue to collab with this man on camera. The shit he says is so fucking disgusting. One, people are worried about getting ass blasted by his legion of mass harassers. Okay, that's a big part of the problem. And two, he's one of the top content creators on the platform. Most people look at this as a job. They don't think about, like, with the exception of this community, okay, even Asmongold's community looks at this from the lens of drama. Do you understand? They don't actually think about the political movement that they are a part of. I'm sure that there are people who have genuine political convictions that are inside of Asmongold's community, but a lot of people don't look at politics from that framework. They look at politics as like, yeah, it's just a type of content. Because if you notice, like even my friends, sometimes when they talk about like my job security, other content creators on this platform will say like, Hasan, you have permanent job security because like the content that you're covering is endless. So from their perspective, they think I'm doing this just because this is like a type of content that I can create, and not because like there is genuine political conviction behind what I'm doing. And this is friendly content creators, right? Like they're not even looking at that cynically. They're just like, in their minds, it's like all entertainment. This is just a type of entertainment. So it is what it is. This is what Asmongold and his audience keep defending on the platform when they say all this, by the way. Yeah, keep pandering, long nose. We know what you are. Oh, shut the fuck up. They're all the same. Goose stepping, long nose pedos. Nah, it's Jews. You ever met a poor Jew? Ever met one without influence? Ever met one who didn't support the homeland? Yeah, it's just, it is. It's just some of the grossest little freaks that feel emboldened. Just like the first Trump administration created this environment where Nazis felt comfortable marching on the streets. When you give these guys an inch, they take a mile. You know, this is their opportunity. This is like something that this is something that they're very excited about. Like, I have never sheltered anyone from what I consider to be what my politics are. Right? People will say like, "Oh, you're hiding your power level or whatever," but it's like, no, I'm not. Nazis, on the other hand, used to try and hide their power levels, right? Back in the day. The reason why they have to do that is because there is a difference between the maximalist position on socialism or communism versus a maximalist position on Nazi ideology. The final solution is the maximalist position on Nazi ideology, the eradication or ethnic cleansing of an entire population on characteristics that they can't change about themselves. Whereas for communism or socialism, there is no such designation. It's an economic organization of society that I have no issue pushing towards, because I ultimately don't. There is nothing shameful about it. There is nothing that contradicts with my values on that front. When you try to describe fascism to an onlooker in simple terms, one, they obviously are taught that it's bad and wrong, but two, it's bad and wrong in the most basic ways. Like it's bad and wrong in the most basic ways. I think it's different, but you absolutely do the same thing. You even spoke the other day about how you soften your message in the same way when you speak at places like Oxford. Again, it's different, but it's exactly the same. No. Okay, it's not the same at all, because when someone asks me what my position is, I am not ashamed of it. Like, I'm not hiding my position at all. I don't think you understand the difference. A Nazi will deny being a Nazi. I do not deny being a socialist. I have no issue being called a socialist. I don't even have an issue being called a communist. A Nazi, on the other hand, for understandable reasons, is going to try to shelter you, try to hide the truth about their actual political convictions. The reason why they try and hide it is because when you strip it of all of the aesthetics, the ideology comes down to a violent enforcement built around one ethnic identity or one religious identity, transcending above with notions of superiority over all other ethnic identities. That's not what communism is, and that's not what socialism is. So there is no reason to, there's no reason for me to like ever feel ashamed about my worldview at all. Whereas Nazis understand that when you try to describe your worldview in its most basic form, there's still a lot of pain and a lot of violence dished out for no real reason beyond fantasies of superiority, ethnic superiority. Because violence is obviously, if we're going to talk about like violence as a permanent construct in politics, like violence is at the heart of all politics. Who gets to do it? Who is victim to it? There are many different forms of violence, but I'm talking simply like why Nazis and why fascists do violence. It's untenable. It's completely unacceptable. And most people consider it to be inappropriate and wrong. There is a sense of shame associated with dishing out violence for fascist purpose. So yeah, hiding power level is blatant deception. It's not the same as being tactful with the wording while still being honest. Exactly. Like, you will never catch me stand down or on trans people. You know what I mean? You just because like the audience I'm talking to is transphobic. Like, that's not going to happen. You will never catch me. You will never catch me like on black people or brown people or anything like that, because the audience is not receptive to that kind of language. Like, that's not, my principles remain the same, even if my messaging is more tactful. Whereas Nazis will actively deny that they're Nazis, and also will actively deny that they have racial purity politics, for example. Does that make sense? Now, that is also changing, though. That's also changing because people are feeling a lot more comfortable about openly stating their fascist desires. As opposed, armed resistance is seen as morally just against a belligerent colonizer on the talks of shameful violence. Yeah. Hasan, you're my favorite radical leftist streamer. I wish I could support terrorism or rape like you, but I'm a Nazi on the right. Wish you best in your echo chamber. Cool, man. That's a weird thing to say, even if your goal there is to like prove a point. That's just like such an incredibly weird thing to just say out loud. So applaud you for not being, wait, what power level? Doing photo shoots or protest marches doesn't move the needle. That's just called being a decent human being. So applaud you for not being transphobic or racist on Twitch. So brave. Wait, what? Are you okay, dude? We got, on the one hand, we got these weirdos, and then on the other hand, we got other weirdos that are like, dude, you're doing the bare minimum. Like, I know, man. I never said that I wasn't. Like, what? I agree. It is called being a decent human being. Recognize how political discourse operates nowadays, and you will understand that like people actually ride with vice signaling as they have substituted vices as a virtue. They see vice as a virtuous thing. That's my point. That is at the heart of this tweet that I presented, where I said, this is just how Twitter and increasingly most other online spaces feel nowadays. People are no longer able to feel shame and wear their bigotry and stupidity like a badge of honor. That was my argument. And it's kind of funny that like, instead of Asmongold saying, oh, we're not bigoted or we're not stupid, he is literally saying, yes, you can't bully us for being bigoted and stupid. He is confirming what I'm saying and basically doubling down and saying, yeah, it's good that we can do that. And you guys are no longer able to bully us or anything like that. Like, it's a self-own for Asmongold once again.
That he can't bully people out of having positions that he disagrees with now. Hey, listen, it was a good few years.
Like, my goal is not to bully people that disagree with me. My goals are to convince people that disagree with me that their worldview is based on violent desires and superficial understandings of race, if that's what they believe, depending on what their belief system is.
You had a good run, but I think people are tired of being bullied out of thinking things, and
like, this is again an apolitical centrist way of covering this, but like, people are tired of being bullied and bullied out of thinking things, or people are tired of being bullied for just thinking things is so expansive, right? Like, what are the things you're thinking? What's the bullying that you're referencing? Does it mean that, are you talking about someone who's like advocating for the final solution or mass displacement of all non-white people from U.S. soil, for example? I'm not saying that this is what Asmongold is doing, but like, the type of people that he captures with this broad umbrella could literally go from people who have a disagreement with me on like tactics of resistance against Israel, all the way to people who are goose stepping and literally stating that they want a white America, a white ethno state. And the bullying that he's referencing could mean anything from like doxing and harassment campaigns all the way down to people being like, I don't agree with you, and I think that you're wrong, and here is why. That's it. A lot of people have like developed this idea that if their worldview is repulsive to the average person, it's actually their fault. Okay? Take some accountability, you know? Take some ownership. I recognize that the media landscape is changing. I recognize that. I understand that I never had the opinion that my worldview was incredibly popular, right? I know that. That was my starting point. That is something that I've always described to people in my community, where I always tell people like, hey, look, being a leftist is all about taking L's. You're going to take a shit on L's. Liberals don't fuck with you. Liberals don't agree with your worldview. Obviously, anyone on the right doesn't agree with your worldview at all. I respect your opinions, but comparing Trump supporters and Republicans to Nazis and racists does not make you look morally better than us. What are you saying? Like, you're protesting too much. That's not what I'm saying. I never said that. I did not say that just now. You have this insecurity about your worldview, I think. Like, this is just you telling on your own self and the way you see the world. Okay? I did not say all Republicans are, or all Trump supporters are Nazis and racists. Okay? I don't know why you immediately rushed to adopt that moniker so willingly. I'm a Republican, but I live in South Carolina where all my friends are Hispanic and blacks. Okay, brother, I don't care about your background. I don't know why you just like jumped on to be like, I'm a Nazi, or people calling me a Nazi all the time or whatever. Okay. My point was not that Asmongold himself is even this. I'm saying that Asmongold uses vague language and weaponizes vague language to cover a broad swath of please don't babe me. What is babe? Asmongold utilizes broad language over a spectrum of ideology that reaches all the way to like neo-Nazis and when saying like people are getting bullied. And it also, when he says people are getting bullied, that's also vague. Like, what does he mean by people getting bullied? I assume you mean please don't baby me or something. But like, what does he mean by being bullied? What does he mean by like people getting bullied for their own? Careful, don't let Hasan pull up your Twitter. It'll result in you reflecting your worldview and potentially improving yourself. Hell, I went out and got a job because of this guy. Nice. Yeah, it's literally, yeah, it is this tweet. Exactly. It's absolutely sickening to compare ICE law enforcement agents to Gestapo. Attacks and demonization of ICE and our partners is wrong. ICE officers are now facing a 413% increase in assaults. Our message is clear. Do not come into this country illegally. If you do, we will arrest you, deport you, and you will never return. Classic.
Nazi.
I love this video.
Wie bitte? Haben Sie mich gerade als Nazi beschimpft?
Na, Sie sind doch einer.
Das ist ja eine Unverschämtheit. Nur weil ich in der NSDAP und in der SS bin, bin ich noch lange kein Nazi. Wahrscheinlich bin ich auch noch rechtsextrem, oder was?
Ja, aber was sollen Sie denn sonst sein?
Ich bin vielleicht ein besorgter Bürger, der Angst
Maybe I'm just a concerned citizen afraid of foreign domination.
vor Überfremdung hat. Aber ich bin nicht
But I
rechts.
am not right
Und ich
wing.
bin erst recht kein
And above
Nazi.
all, I am not a
Hey,
Nazi.
Sie da?
Hey, you there. Do I look like a
Sehe
Nazi?
ich etwa wie ein Nazi aus?
Nö, würde ich jetzt
No,
nicht
I
sagen.
wouldn't say so.
Na, sehen Sie? Aber der ist wahrscheinlich für
He
Sie
must
auch
be a
ein
Nazi
Nazi.
too then, right?
Nazis,
Nazis, Nazis,
lauter
Nazis, Nazis everywhere.
Wenn einem die
When
Argumente
you're running out of
ausgehen,
ideas, it's
dann
easy to play
holt
the
man
Nazi
schnell mal
card.
die gute alte Nazi-Keule raus.
Das hat doch nichts mit
This has nothing to do with a Nazi card.
Machen sich das
That
Leben
life
sehr
makes it
einfach.
very
Nur
easy for
weil
you. Just because someone doesn't share the mainstream opinion, he isn't automatically a
die
Nazi.
Mainstream-Meinung nicht teilt, ist er gleich ein Nazi.
Aber
But being a
Nazis
Nazi
sein
already
doch
is
längst
the mainstream.
Ihr Nationalsozialisten
You
seid an der
National
Macht.
Socialists have all the power. Oh yeah, I forgot. In your
Ja,
world,
ich vergaß.
everyone's a
In
Nazi.
ihrer Welt sind ja alle Nazis. Der Führer ist
The
wahrscheinlich
Führer
für Sie auch
probably
ein
is a Nazi
was?
too, right?
Ja?
Yes.
Jetzt reicht's aber.
That's enough. Insulting the
Führerbeleidigung.
Führer. Come along.
Mitkommen.
Leute, das sind jetzt über...
Ja, ja, ich war Nazi mit.
Why is this so 2025? I hate it. My God, these Trump people are racist. That attitude is what's pushing me to be a racist. Say what? Might as well. You say I'm a Nazi, so fine. I'll be a Nazi if that makes you happy. It doesn't. I bought this Waffen SS uniform for Halloween. Maybe you'll cry offensive, so maybe I'll just wear it every day. I just hate to do this. I feel bullied, really. Yeah. Is why they called Nazism alt-right, so they could be Republicans, but at a distance, get the mainstream benefits, but keep the Nazi worldview and bigotry? Yeah. This is a Matt Boers cartoon. My goat.